And good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Maulers Talk. I'm Ralph Williams. It's great to be here today on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, our four streaming platforms where you can watch this program. I am the only Pittsburgh broadcaster doing anything about the Maulers in Pittsburgh. And I'm about to start a show coming real soon, XFL Weekly. There's been a lot of comments in my comments section of folks asking for an XFL show because I don't think anyone does one. So I'm going to try to see what I can work with and adjust my schedule for XFL Weekly. All right, so we're going to see how that works out and where that goes. Also, don't forget tomorrow night at 7 p.m., The Way I See It. And I have a special guest coming on to talk about body cameras and also talk about the police in general all across the United States of America. And we'll have that tomorrow on The Way I See It, 7 p.m., YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. All right, this afternoon, speaking of the XFL, this afternoon, 4 p.m. on ESPN is San Antonio versus Orlando. And then at 7 is Arlington versus Houston. So that'll be for today. Yesterday, the scores, DC 18, Las Vegas, Rod Woodson, former Steeler, is 0-2. DC beat them 18-6. They are now 2-0 in the XFL. Other XFL scores, St. Louis 20, and they're 2-0. Jimmy, with Anthony Beckett as their head coach. Seattle, their head coach, Jimmy Haslett, lost to 20-18 was the final yesterday. Seattle is now 0-2, and it's great to see football back in St. Louis. All right, today here we're going to talk about the Maulers, what's going on with them. They just had their draft. I'm going to run down all their draft picks, and then what we're going to do is we're going to run down all the teams. Now, this year, the Maulers will have 8 teams as they did last year. Michigan is in the North Division, New Jersey, Philly, and the Maulers. And the Maulers, and I'll tell you in a few moments where they're going to be playing. Next in the South Division, Birmingham Stallions, Houston Gamblers, New Orleans Breakers, and the new Memphis Showboats, which is the old Tampa Bay Bandits team. Again, I have not received any information as to what happened in Tampa Bay that the USFL had to move it from Tampa Bay to Memphis for the return of the Memphis Showboats, because Memphis Showboats were in the original USFL when they first came out in 1982. So anyway, all right, all teams will be playing at the following locations: Birmingham Stallions, New Orleans Breakers. They're going to be playing at Protective Stadium. Now, if you remember last year, Protective Stadium was the location as to where all of the games were played last year, including all Maulers games. And, so they were all played at Birmingham. But this year, the USFL decided to split it up this year, kind of make it a little more territorial. But the thing that bothers me is, why didn't they have Pittsburgh and Philly playing the same place? Why did they have Philly going all the way to Detroit, and they have Pittsburgh Maulers playing against New Jersey at the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, Tom Benson Field? That is where New Jersey and the Maulers will be having their home games this year. And I tell you what, I got a lot of criticism for this, but I tell you what, it's a great trip idea. If you're broke, if you literally have no money and you want to take your kids somewhere or you want to go someplace, the tickets for a Maulers game was very inexpensive. And then on top of that, you can go see the NFL National Football League's Football Hall of Fame while you're there as well. Go to the Steeler area where all the Steelers are in the Football Hall of Fame over there in Canton, Ohio. That is where the Maulers will be playing this year. I'm told, which I was told last year, that this year they're supposed to play in Pittsburgh. I'm told next year they will definitely go to home fields. Some of these teams are having trouble finding home fields. I had Matt Grubba on my program, and Matt from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds told me, and I quote, and I'll play the video, he said, and I quote, anytime that the Maulers want to use Highmark Stadium, they are welcome to sit down and talk with the Riverhounds about it. So anyway, that is how that's going. All right, next, let's talk about the schedule. Maulers They start play on Sunday, April 16th. Mark us on your calendar, 6:30 p.m. start time. They're at New Orleans, down at Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. The other place, a location of field, is the Michigan Panthers and the Philly Stars are playing at Ford Field in Detroit. So you got Philly at Memphis on Saturday, April 15th. That's the opening day of the USFL. And then you have New Jersey facing Birmingham at Protective Stadium. Memphis, they will be at in Detroit with I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They will not be in Detroit. That's where Michigan and the Philly Stars will play. Memphis will be playing as well down at Protective Stadium. Also on the Sunday, Michigan versus Houston. Let's see here. Where is Houston going to be playing? I'm looking on my stuff here. I think Houston is playing in Memphis at their stadium at Simmons Field. That is where Memphis and Houston will be playing. So those games are for that week, and then week 2 is April 22nd and 23rd. The Maulers will be playing New Jersey, and Maulers will be the home team for that because them and New Jersey share the same location at the Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. Also, Michigan at Philly, and they share the same field. They share Ford Field over in Detroit, Michigan. Memphis at Birmingham. That'll be an interesting game right there. And then Houston at New Orleans, and that is week 2. Week 3, we have the Maulers will play Philly at the Philly Stars, 12 p.m. start time on Sunday, April 30th, and in New Jersey at Michigan. Also, and then Saturday, April 29th, will be New Orleans versus Birmingham and Memphis versus Houston. All right, next we have week 5, which okay, well, sorry about that. I don't have week 4 here. I don't understand where week 4 went, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about I'll get you week 4 here. Just give me a moment. But anyway, while we're talking, I wanted to bring up to you this also in today's show, in case you're not aware, that the Maulers have a new coach. And the interesting part about this, and I mentioned this on the last show a few weeks back that we had, Mauler show, when they announced that they had new coach Ray Horton is our coach from former Steeler defensive coach. And also there was some issues with Kirby Wilson. He claims he stepped down for personal reasons. There's 3 coaches that stepped down for personal reasons this year: Larry Fedora, Jeff Fisher, and Kirby Wilson. The thing is, Kirby Wilson was replaced as general manager. Rumors were going around that there was going to be he was going to get fired. So the interesting part about that here, I have half or some of the week 4, May 7th will be New Orleans and New Jersey, Birmingham at Pittsburgh, Memphis at Michigan on May 6th. Okay, week 5, May 13th. It will be let's see, the Maulers will be in Detroit to play Michigan, Houston at Birmingham, New Jersey at Philly, and Memphis at New Orleans. All right, next we have week 6. Pittsburgh plays at Memphis, Birmingham at Michigan on May 21st, which will be on a Sunday. New Orleans at Philly, New Jersey at Houston. Week 7, let's see, it'll be on May 27th. It will be Philly at Pittsburgh. The Philly Stars come to visit at the Canton, Ohio, at the Football Hall of Fame. That's where the Maulers will be playing their games, along with the New Jersey Generals will be playing their games there as well. And again, as I said, it makes no sense. I don't know why they didn't pair us up with Philly and have Philly and us play at Canton, and then have New Jersey maybe go to Detroit and hook. I don't know why they did it this way. I have no idea. I don't know what their thought process is in the USFL, but that's obviously what it is. All right, and then we have Philly plays at Pittsburgh, 9 p.m. start time on Saturday, May 27th. May 28th will be Houston at Memphis and Michigan at New Jersey. Week 8, it'll be Houston at Pittsburgh, Philly at Birmingham, and Memphis at New Jersey, and Michigan at New Orleans. Week 9, Michigan at Pittsburgh. We'll see Mike Nolan. Mike Nolan is their new coach. In case you don't know who Mike Nolan is, he used to be a defensive coordinator and defensive assistant all across the NFL. Was once the head coach with the San Francisco 49ers. He's bounced around in college a little bit here and there. But, Mike Nolan is the new coach up in Michigan. New Orleans has a new head coach as well. At Memphis, Birmingham, at Houston, Philly, at New Jersey. And I'll run down all the coaches coming up shortly. Next week, number 10 will be June 17th. Maulers at New Jersey. Birmingham at Memphis. New Orleans at Houston. And Philly at Michigan. And that is our schedule for you here on Maulers Talk. I am Ralph Williams. If you're not familiar, we do Maulers Talk here every now and again. I will be having a scheduled show as soon as the season starts, and I'll be doing pre- and post-game shows as well. I have a phone meeting tomorrow with the USFL about some other stuff in regards to the Maulers. So, all right, let's get into the Maulers draft here. The Maulers and some noted people that got picked up by other teams, but the Maulers in the first round of the college draft, which was a few weeks back, they picked up Lindsey Scott Jr., quarterback from the Incarnate Word. Number 2 pick, Maulers have picked Malik Ham, defensive end, Lafayette. Then in the third round, they picked up Taquan Dorsey, offensive lineman, St. Francis. And I believe that's the St. Francis in PA. And they picked him up as well. All right, so round 4, the Maulers picked up Fernando Jordan. He's a defensive back, Southeast Louisiana. Maulers also picked up in round 5 Isaiah Land, defensive end, Florida A&M. Those of you who don't know who's from Florida A&M, I would like somebody to please tell me who was the Steeler pickup in the draft from Florida A&M, and he was a linebacker back in the Cowher days. Earl Holmes. Earl Holmes was a linebacker from Florida A&M, and Bill Cowher called up and said, congratulations, I just drafted you. You're the best linebacker in the draft. Earl Holmes says to him, no, congratulations to you, coach, because you have drafted the best linebacker in the NFL, in the college. And as he went in the NFL, played for us for a few years, played for a few other teams, and then went off into the sunset. Earl Holmes, linebacker from Florida A&M. He used to play for the Steelers, but Maulers went to Florida A&M in the 5th round and picked up Isaiah Land, defensive end. Round 6 is Nash Jensen, offensive guard, North Dakota State. There's another offensive lineman coming out of North Dakota State, Montana State, I believe it is. His name is Cody Haug, and I'm looking for the Steelers to pick him up because I want him. He's a big offensive lineman, mean, nasty, looks like Jack Lambert, has no teeth. That's the kind of guy that I think the Steelers need to pick. Not in the first round, but they need to pick that kind of a guy. Next, Maulers pick in round 7, Taylor Grimes, wide receiver, once again from the Incarnate Word. Maulers pick up in round 8, C.J. Turner, wide receiver, Southeast Louisiana. All right, round 9, the Maulers have picked up Jacob Slade, defensive tackle, Michigan State. Now, I've seen this Slade kid play. Where? How? Well, when we were in the Peach Bowl last year, not this past year, we won the Sun Bowl Pitt. Pitt played Michigan State in the Peach Bowl, the bowl that Kenny Pickett didn't play. Okay. And I saw Jacob Slade. He's a pretty decent defensive tackle. I think it was a good pickup by the Maulers in round 9. Round 10, they picked up kicker Ethan Evans from Wingate. Now, listen to this. Last year, the Maulers had all kinds of problems with their kicking game. Punting game, special teams, every part of the aspect of the Maulers was a problem. Quarterback, running back. It just seemed like Kirby Wilson just was way in over his head as a head coach. Maybe he's a great running backs coach and a great assistant head coach or a great assistant coach in the entire NFL. But he just was not the right fit for the Maulers. And I'm glad that he, for some strange reason, resigned for personal reasons all of a sudden, abruptly, for the Maulers. Okay, in the North Division, we're going to go over the coaches. Michigan Panthers, as I mentioned, coached by Mike Nolan. Next, New Jersey Generals has the return of Mike Riley. Mike Riley was a college coach at Oregon State, Nebraska, Oregon State a second time, and a few other places he's been around. Not only that, as an assistant, he also was the head coach once at the old San Diego Chargers, who are now the LA Chargers, in the NFL, and then he's been an assistant somewhere along the line, whether it be in college or in the pros. Mike Riley. All right, next, Philadelphia Stars, coached once again by Bart Andrus. They were the champions last year. It was great to see, Birmingham was, but it was great to see Philly involved in the championship match. The Maulers are coached by Ray Horton. Those of you who don't know who Ray Horton is, he's been an assistant in the NFL for many years. He coached in the Arizona Cardinals organization with the Steelers and a few other places as well. But he's going to be our new head coach this year. I'm happy Kirby Wilson's gone. Again, like I said, it seems abrupt that he would step down as the coach of the Maulers. Said it was for personal reasons. Jeff Fisher said it was for personal reasons. Larry Fedora said it was for personal reasons. I think all three of them were on eggshells. The Maulers had just got a brand new GM, and I'm thinking that maybe that's perhaps one of the reasons he stepped away. Birmingham Stallions coached once again, second year in a row, by Skip Holtz. Lou Holtz is the late Lou Holtz's son, is Skip Holtz. He's been around college mostly, but he's been an NFL assistant here and there, and now he's the head coach, and took Birmingham to the championship last year. Houston Gamblers this year will not be coached by Kevin Sumlin, but by Curtis Johnson. Kevin Sumlin, once again, another coach, stepped down for personal reasons. I'll leave that go. Memphis Showboats, coached by Todd Haley. Those of you not familiar, the Showboats were one of the original teams, like the Maulers and the Stallions and a few of the other teams here in the USFL that are the original of the USFL lineup. But I don't know what happened in Tampa Bay. I'm going to have to try to really dig deep and find out. I haven't heard anything from any of my contacts down there why the Bandits got up and walked out, or just walked away and went to Memphis this year. Now it's the Memphis Showboats, and they'll be playing at their own field as well. New Orleans Breakers, their new coach is John DeFilippo. All right, so I want to let you know John's been around a long, long time throughout the NFL and college ranks as well. We'll see what he does with New Orleans down there with the Breakers team as well. All right, just a few announcements for you. As you know, this show is brought to you in part by RW Media, and my RW Media is expanding. In the next few weeks, you're going to be hearing details about my new radio, The Way I See It radio show. It's coming to Pittsburgh, and you'll be getting information about that tomorrow. The Way I See It. I have a guest on tomorrow that I think you're going to like, and it's going to be an interesting guest tomorrow, because what's going on is that I have this guest on for a purpose, because, see, a lot of people think I'm talking out of my butt when I say that I think the police are all across the country are handcuffed. Well, Parks McGregor will be my guest tomorrow. He has a company that sells body cams to all the police departments, and he's going to talk with us tomorrow about the state of our police departments across the country. So Parks McGregor will be with us tomorrow. It's going to be great having him on to talk about all that as well. Don't forget Tuesday night Sports Corner. I'll have a couple guests lined up. At least I'm trying to get some. Myself, Smoking Jim Frazier. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and also on Twitch. And also don't forget on Thursday night, Blog Talk Radio. Wednesday night, Talking Wrestling. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter with myself and Smoking Jim Frazier. We talk wrestling on Talking Wrestling. Also, don't forget we have Wrestle and Sports Talk on Blog Talk Radio Thursday night. This Thursday will be on at 8 o'clock because I have my TV show commitment. Speaking of the TV show, Thursday night, or Thursday afternoon, The Way I See a TV show live on PCTV's Facebook page, and it'll be circulating around PCTV's system So check PCTV's listings for day and time as to when I'll be on with The Way I See It. It's it's on a floating time or time frame. It's on all different times, different days. So make sure you check that out as well. But Thursday I will be on live on PCTV's Facebook page between 4 and 4:15 for The Way I See It. And the next 6 p.m. live call-in show, it'll be Smoke and Jim Frazier, myself, our TV edition of Sports Corner, and we are going to have a great time. Don't forget, we also talk wrestling on there as well, so don't forget to call in. And then Thursday night, 8 o'clock, 45 minutes this Thursday due to the TV commitment, 8 o'clock. Blog Talk Radio, 347-205-9631 is Sports and Wrestle Talk. Myself, Smoking Jim Frazier, Mark Mancini. And then Friday, 5 p.m., every Friday, 5 p.m., myself, Bruce Kessinger, in the External Bum Podcast. And this past Friday, we had some bums on the show. We talked about all different types of bums. What you can do is you can comment on what kind of bum you might want us to talk about on the show on Friday, 5 p.m., 347-205-9631. Listen to the show, Blog Talk Radio. Coming in a few weeks on Saturday afternoon at 12, myself, Bruce Kessinger, we're going to be talking sports. It's called Talking Sports with Bruce Kessinger and myself on Blog Talk Radio. And please don't forget to keep your ears open. Call your friend, call your cousin, call somebody. And the reason I say call somebody is because of this. I, Ralph Williams, RW Media, we are putting on The Way I See It on the radio. It's time, Pittsburgh. It's time for a change. It's time for something different. It's time for something extensive. It's time for epic programming. And that's coming. The Way I See It radio show is coming. And you'll know when. But the other stations are not going to know when, and they're not going to know how, and they're going to wonder why. Well, the reason why is because I'm changing the talk perspective in Pittsburgh, because everyone's tired of the same boring stuff that these stations talk about. They're tired of traffic and weather every 15 minutes. Well, I don't have traffic and weather every 15 minutes. What I have is really good, extensive, opinionated talk that comes from me. And it's the way I see it, and I tell it like it is. And there's not one radio talk show person in this town that is like me. Because you know what? They're jealous of me. They won't put me on their station. They don't want me on there. They don't want to do that. They're too busy worrying about weather and news and traffic every 15 minutes. I'm worried about talking and exactly the way I see it. And it's going to be me, the way I see it, Ralph Williams, on the radio. So check your listings, and also don't forget to check my social media pages: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Wimkin, LinkedIn, and don't forget to YouTube here on my YouTube channel. All my archive versions. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to reach 100 before June. So far, I'm up to 89. So don't forget to subscribe as well. Call your friend, call your cousin. It's been a pleasure being with you today for Mauler Talk. Have a great one, and get ready for the Mauler season starting April 16th. Have a great one, and be safe.